There's a moment every great band reaches where the question is no longer, can they make it? It becomes something much harder. What do they do next? That's where Warning are right now. They've proven they're real. They've proven they can write. They've proven they can perform on big stages with big expectations. So this video isn't about judging them. It's about something much more interesting. What are the possible roads in front of the Warning, and why does their next move even matter? Here's what makes the Warning unusual. Yes, they're still very young, but they're not a new band. They've been playing together for a decade and more. They've grown up together musically, personally, and professionally. They are bound by blood. Most bands face this crossroads. They are either young and inexperienced, or older with a long history. The Warning are somehow the best of both. They're seasoned, but not calcified. They're ambitious, but not naive. And they're tight as a unit without sounding trapped by their own sound. That combination is actually quite rare. Historically, bands at this stage face a few familiar options. They double down on what worked, they refine and polish their sound, they get bigger and more theatrical. Or they strip down and get risky, or deliberately change lanes before the audience is ready for it. None of these choices are wrong, but each one changes the story of a band. And this is where it gets interesting in regard to the Warning. Now, we've seen other great bands face this moment. Rush, after 2112, Success Critical Peace, their technical peak, forced them to redefine power. Muse, after Absolution, or Paramore after their early hits. These bands didn't just release albums, they made identity decisions. But here's the key difference with the Warning. Most of those bands hit their crossroads later. The Warning are facing it early, with stronger musicianship than most bands their age, a tighter internal chemistry than many bands twice their age, so the old rules don't fully apply. So this is where I want you to think along with me. Some real possibilities about what the Warning might do next. They might lean into heavier, darker riffs with a little bit of a more menacing sound. They might get more melodic, expanding their vocal dynamics. They might embrace a bit of atmosphere and mood, go a little theatrical, or they might become really experimental, structurally and musically. Or they may simply keep sharpening what already works until it cuts even deeper. Each one of these paths makes a certain amount of sense. Each one of these paths would change their music and create a slightly different future audience. Why this matters beyond just the Warning is because the Warning represents a modern rock band that's growing without the old industry machine. They also represent a young band with deeper roots and a group that proves that longevity can begin very early on. What they choose next helps answer a larger question. What does a long rock career even look like now, these days? So let me be clear about one thing. This is not a band that has peaked, not creatively, not musically, not emotionally, and not even in terms of popularity. If anything, they're entering the phase where great bands start doing their most interesting work. So whatever they choose next, heavier, broader, stranger, sharper, it's almost certainly going to be very well worth hearing and probably a bit surprising. What do you think the Warning will do next? What do you think they should do next? And what do you want them to do next? Which potential direction excites you? And which one would potentially surprise or even possibly disappoint you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. MusicGuru here, asking you to help us on our march to 10,000 subscribers.